that model. But a place like this too, you just gotta. It's big. It's different. We're not like a musical theater, so you've got to kind of learn your way through it. Um, Not that I've done every job, but I've done enough of them to understand the concept, and understand how it works and make it tick. But I think even more important thing is, again, if you're going to be a cultural institution, I'm from here. This is home. I know who we do reach, and I also know who we don't always reach. But I'm also comfortable in those spaces where we don't always reach. So I think we all bring an identity to our job, and I think that we're St. Louis's musical theater, and that means all of St. Louis.
So in your opinion, so you get into this new position, what do you want to bring to the table that'll be different or expanding the Muny's scope, and even maybe even acts, things like that? What is your kind of vision that you kind of have off the foot?
That's a great question. I mean, I think number one on the list for me is to make sure that our audience is representative of the community that we serve, right? And that's not a wave a magic wand situation. That means you ask the question of, does the art on stage is the art on stage attractive to everyone? Is the art on stage made in a way that feels inclusive? Does the art on stage represent everyone? I think that you start there. I think that the audience starts to look even more like our community if more of our community participates in creating what happens. So that means opportunity, right? We have 9 labor unions that we work with that work really hard to make this happen. But and that said, are all those groups drawing from all the zip codes to make sure that all of St. Louis or every neighborhood feels an investment in what's going on in that theater? I think the opportunity is also to step off our own stage. We have a remarkably fast-growing education initiative and an education program, and that connects young people with art, and it brings it to their doorstep and gives them opportunity to learn a trade or to learn how to do this or learn how to work in a group. So those are on the short list. I also think that this venue and this central location in the park, we have not just the stage. People always get stuck on, use the Muni more and put concerts on stage. Sure, is that something that happened in the past? Maybe, but there are things you can do in and around the venue to continue.
What do you mean? What do you mean? They think it's going to become a concert venue now?
Well, it used to be. So way back 80s, 90s, there were concerts there, and there's always an undercurrent conversation of, oh, why don't you guys still do concerts? There's a million reasons why we haven't been in that business for a while, but that's not to say that the right type of events, even not on our stage necessarily, on our satellite stages, in our rehearsal areas, it's a beautiful campus, or in the house itself, there are other things that you can do sometimes in that off season just to keep the relevance of the institution kind of top of mind for people. We have a beautiful facility, and I'm biased. I think I'll take Forest Park over any other neighborhood. Let me put it that way, because it's centrally located and it's a beautiful thing. So I want to make sure people are there, so I think that attracting people to the venue and making it feel like home for a lot of for people that aren't there all the time, I think that's helpful too. But number one is make sure that we're connected to the community in a way that it feels like it's for everyone at all times. That's really it.
Has anybody hit you up like, man, please don't have, because you're a brother and stuff, like, don't have mama don't throw the fish grease on me showing next summer, like, some crazy stuff, like, hold on, man, like, we ain't gonna have, and then wrong with mama don't throw the fish grease on me, but this, saying that, like, it's a balanced venue, that's a different circuit for mama don't
that's a different circuit
that has its place.
Two answers to that question. I think number one, whatever we put on stage, we're an 11,000 seat theater, right? So it costs a lot to put something on stage. So I better make sure that what happens in there is also going to bring in people before me have made this place financially sound, and it's my job to leave it as good or better when I walk out. So number one, that helps determine that question. But yeah, I mean, look, man, we're in a world where everyone has an opinion and a platform to give it. I've been humbled and blessed with the love and support, but like, everybody ain't happy, man. Like,
I think you should actually do a fake poster for Mama Don't Mess Up the Fish Grease.
Mama, look, what do you think? Starring who? Who you want me to put?
Ooh, Mama Don't Throw the Fish Grease. Starring DeAndre Bond, if anybody remembers him that plays Stacy in The Wood. He would be the guy that's got out of jail's mama's son, wayward son. Also starring Stacey Dash as the bougie daughter, Mama
Okay.
Loretta Devine.
Okay.
The singer, I'm Countess Vaughn is gonna be the daughter that hasn't left the crib, that's just been living with Mama.
Oh, have you already written this musical?
No. This is all off the head. This is all off the head.
I just don't know about it.
No, this is free. This is free for people. If y'all want to cast Mama Don't Mess Up the Fish Grease, that's your cast.
Okay. All right.
What is one of the best shows that have been in Muny was like, man, yo, this one did game busters that you didn't expect. Like, where it's like, yo, like I didn't know people was gonna be into this.
Wow, that's a great question. In my let's see. Well, we closed the 2018 season with Meet Me in St. Louis, right?
Yep.
That was, and what I loved about that production of it is that we cast a very diverse and mixed family, right? And that show, I loved the show, but I didn't know that people were gonna love it like that. And maybe it was a part of the fact that it was a 2018 season. So it was part of that centennial and people loved it. That one was great. We did the Addams Family a few years ago. Surprise hit, you know, people, I guess there's that familiarity. And then let's see, 2012, we did Dreamgirls. We did Dreamgirls in 2012.
And this is right after the movie came out too, right?
Yep, right around then. And that was so well received. And what I loved about that was that people that maybe don't always come to musical theater, you know, they came and saw, and the production was just good. I've got to give the hats off and the shout out to our artistic team, man. What they put on that stage is, you know, you'll hear them in a meeting like, well, that's impossible. And then you go out there and you see and you see it come to real life. So, you know, those were great. I'm trying to think of some more. We did Les Mis in 2013. I loved that one.
What is something that you were like, man, I wanted to get this one, man, but we couldn't get it?
I mean, okay, look, any theater wants to do Hamilton.
Who
doesn't? Right? Like, I mean, there's just something.
So how is that paycheck for Hamilton like saying like, yo, I'm gonna get Puff Daddy for my party?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like,
I mean, is that equivalent to the same thing?
Yeah, I'm getting Puff Daddy, maybe BJ, and now to make a quick cameo. Like,
it's that experience.
I mean, well, and it's not even about the cost. In truth, you simply just can't get the license to produce the show like that yet, or maybe ever, because the show it's still on a tour, it's still on an incredible.
So can you buy that tour to come there? Like saying like, yo, I want the tour to come to the Muny.
So the Fox does that. That's what. So we produce.
So Fox got it locked out. So y'all couldn't even do it if y'all wanted to because the Fox got it locked out.
And we don't present, we produce. So when we get a show, we license a script and a score, and we cast it. We build this. We do the whole thing, as opposed to a show showing up on a truck and a bus and popping into your theater. No knock to what they do. Everybody has a different business model. Ours is also, given our scale. You know, our state, we're just bigger than everybody. Like if you bring a tour set on it's just gonna be little. You know, on a 95-foot opening, it's just a bigger. So that one, I think, you know, I would love for us to be able to do Lion King one day. You know, that one's still touring. I think a show like a Lion King is just perfectly set for a venue like us. You know, I look forward. I think, you know, I look forward to being able to do a Color Purple. I saw Color Purple on Broadway it must be 3 years ago now. Jennifer Holliday was in it. Cynthia Erivo was in it, man. And that's one that just, I feel like there's something different about when you're sitting out at night under
the stars,
outside under, you know, not to sound cliche about it, but it's just, you know, it's a peaceful, beautiful night in the park. You know, you can connect, you can get locked into what's going on that stage in a different way. So, you know, those are some of the ones that I hope. What's also exciting is like there's always new stuff in development, man. You know, that's really exciting to see. And I think that we're in a more culturally conscious time in history. So more and more of what comes out speaks to a more modern existence, or was more modernly relevant. So, you know, there's a bunch that I'm sure I can't even think of that will be the right fit for this community at some point. So I'm excited simply for that mix. I'm excited for a next generation of theater. We're blessed with the success and stability of having a lot of season ticket holders who've been there as parents